Hey, welcome as we once again, hey, getting ready for the HBCUbiz Summer Growth Summit. That's right. Hey, it's hot out here. It's hot in here, as they would say. The air conditioner is running wide open because it's in the middle of the summer if you're down south. But today I'm here with Jen Beidleman as I gave her a Mississippi version of that. I put the I before the E except for, but no, that's a different story. Now, I want to welcome you as we really just going to talk a little bit today about what she's going to be sharing in a couple days. And what I mean by that is, as we go live in the Summer Growth Summit, she's going to be sharing some things to help you reclaim your time. Okay. 'Cause guess what? We all have the same amount. It's 24/7. That's right. 24 hours, 7 days a week, 1,440 minutes, 86,400 seconds. However you break it down, it doesn't change for anybody. So, how do you reclaim that time? Hey, that's going to be the key part. With that said, Jen, welcome. Good. Glad you're here. Glad we were able to connect. And first of all, thanks for helping me reclaim some of my time to do some other stuff.
Of course, of course. Thank you for having me. Let me start by saying that I'm greatly, greatly appreciative for the opportunity. So I appreciate that, Howard. And of course, I'm always here to help solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, dualpreneurs be able to claim the time that they honestly deserve in their business.
When we talk about that is, and but before we get into how you're going to help, just share a little bit of your backstory. You've been a project manager. COVID hit. You had to do a pivot. You had to, as we would say, pivot in the pain and push to a new position.
Exactly.
Unlike our Olympic team is doing right now. That's a different story with the basketball team. So, what did that look like for you when COVID hit?
So for me, when COVID hit, a little so to back up before COVID hit, I was an EA for who is now a millionaire, but I was an EA for a financial advisor, right? And I was his
Oh,
EA.
EA stands for executive assistant because we're going to be using EA, OBM, VA, uh, all these other terms. So let's, because everybody does not quite understand that, but they still may need that type of.
Right. And I do apologize. I'm used to the virtual jargon, so forgive me. But yes, so I was the entrepreneur, executive assistant for the past 5 years, right? So when I started with him, I was literally just doing like general admin tasks for him, making phone calls, making sure that, I'm saying, his paperwork, people were signing their correct documents and things of that nature. Fast forward to 5 years later, pandemic comes. So now we're no longer meeting up, we're having virtual meetings. We're
Hmm.
doing virtual meetings, we're on Zoom, things of that nature. And I'm like, well, dang, if I'm doing this virtually for him, who else can I do this for? And I'm like, so let me reevaluate what I'm doing now because now I can't get out and get my clients like I normally am in a face-to-face situation. So now I'm like, well, let me see what the virtual world is. Virtual world, of course, is totally different from real world, face to face. You know what I'm saying? You're used to that direct contact communication with, I'm saying, your potential clients and things of that nature. Virtual world just means that every day you get ready to get on this meeting that you have to literally show up and still be present for because you're still in front of them face to face. But now it's like they're here. So when the pandemic hit, I just literally sat back and I was like, I have to do something different because, of course, like everyone else's income, my income declined because they're like, oh, well, you're not in the building, you're not showing up. We don't really, what I'm saying? Somebody has to get X, so let's see who we can X. So I end up deciding that I'm going to be a certified. I end up just saying, okay, so let me get into the virtual world. So I end up offering virtual assistants to different entrepreneurs, business owners, people who want to start up, someone who just wanted to, if you wanted to like take some work that you didn't want to do yourself, outsource it. So I end up offering that service to different people. But then offering that service, I still wasn't doing what I know that I can do, which is, what I'm saying, be somebody's project manager, be an executive assistant or something to that nature. So I was like, well, let's pivot from there. So I pivoted from the virtual assistant agency model and I decided that I wanted to be an online business manager.
You know, Something you're saying, Jen, I think is worth saying for people, and it really hit me because we talked about VA, virtual assistant, or which is equivalent to really an AA, an administrative assistant, An EA is that executive assistant, which really they're virtual executive assistants. And what that really means is that that person is running all the parts of an executive's life except for that part that they love doing and the part they get highly paid to do.
Exactly.
Basically, whatever they can't do, whatever that no one else can do as well as them, that's where they try to stay.
Exactly.
So now, as you took that and said, "Hey, I could take it a step further. I could help entrepreneurs run their business much like I was doing for this executive, because a lot of it you were really running that executive's business."
Yes.
And what that means, I've come to find out is that that doesn't mean that you do it. It means that you're responsible for getting it done.
Exactly. Exactly.
Explain that to people, because a lot of people think it's going to be Jen doing all these different things, that she's super smart. Now she's just highly intelligent because she knows to get other people. She's not necessarily super smart in the sense of she does everything. So explain that difference there.
So yes, the difference is that I strongly believe, I tell my coaching clients this, I strongly believe in working in your zone of genius. My zone of genius is managerial skills, delegating, project manager, launch management, anything managerial. I'm your girl. Like that's what I can do for you. But graphics, I wouldn't be the person to do your graphics for you, but I can hire someone to do the graphics for you, or someone on my team, because I have a graphics department on my team. Someone on my team can get the graphics done for you. So at the end of the day, whatever you need, I'm going to get it done. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to do it, but I'm going to get it done for you. That's where my zone of genius comes in at, being able to delegate the task that needs to be done. So at the end of the day, within 24, 48, 72 hours, I can deliver you a finished product that all Jen had to do was assign it to someone, follow up to make sure it was done correctly, and before it comes to you, my eyes get the last set. My eyes are the last set to look at it, and then I pass it on to you for your final approval.
When you talk about that, and I don't know why I had not thought about this analogy, Jen, is literally you're a contractor. If you want to parallel to the contracting or building industry, that contractor hires all these subcontractors to build your house.
Correct.
And so they're responsible for it, but they don't necessarily do it. And that is, a lot what an OBM does. But then talk a little bit more about how you help people understand the strategy part so they can reclaim their time. Because there's one thing for me to come to you and say, "Hey, I just need you to do this." But the other part, I think the value is for an OBM or an online business manager or a person to say, "Hey, here are things that you need to let go, and here's how you let go."
Right. So the way that happens is me actually knowing the sit. So my first thing when I talk to a client, when I'm saying, "Hey, you know what I'm saying? Let me be able to come on and be your OBM." And they're like, "Oh, what's an OBM? Your online business manager." So what exactly are you doing? Going to manage my business? Actually, yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to find out the different processes, systems you're using that either we can eat, or different things that you're doing where I can implement a different process or a different system where I can go in the back end and make sure things run a lot more smoother. So you're not, so your hands in it isn't in the day to day. And I'm actually being able to go through and say, "Hey, so I see that you're doing it this way, but if we do this way, it literally shaves you 3 minutes." People's like, "Oh, what's 3 minutes? 3 minutes is a lot if you could shave it every day." If I could shave you 3 minutes off, not even every day, if I could shave you 3 minutes out every time you get ready to do this task, imagine how much time you have left. That can equivalent to a whole hour that you could be doing something else with. So if you do the same thing repetitively, and I can come in and say, "Hey, so instead of doing that, let's do it this way," and it saves you anywhere from 3, 5, 7, 10 minutes every time you do the same thing, that's money.
And that oftentimes you have to break it down into numbers for some entrepreneurs. And, I actually went through and said that, okay, I said, if I'm coaching at $300 an hour, that's is effectively, if you save me 3 minutes, that's $5 a minute.
Okay.
Okay. And so literally that's what it becomes, um, in my business. But then you go back as you grow, or you work to grow to a higher level, that number becomes even higher. That 3 minutes become even more valuable on a dollar number. So now when you get to the point where you're making millions a year and you're working only 50 hours. Okay. Yeah. And so now when you put that into terms of minutes, that 3 minutes becomes very valuable. So, as we get ready to close out, because, I go back to the question, the promise that you have as being part of Summer Growth Summit is that you're going to help people reclaim their time.
Yes.
What does that look like? Don't give all the secret sauce. Give at least part of the ingredients, okay?
again, again, like I stated before, helping someone reclaim their time is literally, if you can outsource that task and it gives you more time to either spend time with your family, spend time, you know what I'm saying, sleeping. I know a lot of entrepreneurs lose sleep because they're busy trying to think about what their brain doesn't shut down because what's going on in their business. If you can take that off your mind and hand that over to someone else or outsource it to an online business manager such as myself or a VA, someone that literally gives you time where you can literally get in the bed and your brain can like shut down, opposed to constantly running like, oh, make sure I do this or make sure I do that. Or like I used to be with a bunch of sticky notes. I used to have a bunch of sticky notes where it was like, okay, if I can pull this sticky note off the wall, I'm good. But so yeah, reclaiming your time is literally like knowing when, you know what I'm saying, that it's time to actually outsource that one task you don't like doing or that one job that keeps you up at night. Like if you can outsource that, literally imagine the time that you can actually divulge back into doing what you enjoy doing or talking to potential clients or, you know what I'm saying, having the meetings where it can get you into rooms that you wanted, that you dreamt of being inside of. That's what reclaiming your time looks like.
No, that definitely is two things out of, personally for me, reclaim time are two things. One is more times to do my dream ideal things, and then more time for RGAs, revenue generating activities. And so,
Okay.
hey, that's where I'm working to get more and more into. So, I want to challenge you to do the same. Show up at Summer Growth Summit, where Jen is really going to help you understand that and walk through that because that's going to be a key part in you being able to scale and grow. So remember, you either got to bring people in as part of your team, or you got to bring a team in as part of your team. So it's your call. And so reclaiming your time, as Jen will be sharing on Thursday, you'll get a chance to see that. So definitely go to the link below. Byron Riley CPA has really sponsoring tickets for people. So go ahead and claim those tickets before they're gone. Gosh, that's hard. Me giving away tickets when I could still be selling them. Okay. But he did sponsor. Okay. Hey, I'm sticking to the plan. I just thought about that, but we're sticking to the plan. So with that said, any last words other than go ahead, click the link, register so you can show up Thursday afternoon. Any other last words, Jen?
No, I just can't wait to see everybody and meet everyone and let everyone know how, you know what I'm saying, you do not have to do this alone. It's impossible to scale alone.
Hey, remember, no one is self-made. If you're self-made, that means you did not maximize your potential, okay? Because nobody's self-made, period. Don't think it because it isn't so. And with that said, as always, we challenge you to go out and be the best you possible because guess what? Everybody else is taken. And now I got to say is find the right who so you can do the right what's, okay? With that said, we will see you Thursday. Make sure you grab your tickets and we'll see you inside the summit. Bye bye. Let's see. All right. Live stream stop. Recording stop.
That was fun.